face of death, that he is going to die, he sees his life has no purpose, that all his life, he lived his life a lie. And so today, brothers, we really invite you to look at yourself. To look and see, what is it that we live for? What is it truly that we live for? Another gospel passage where Jesus tells a story of a rich man who put up a great harvest. And he made his workers slave day and night for weeks to build new granaries, to store this new grain. Because he thought, as soon as I store all this grain, my life will be perfect. My life will be secured. And what does Jesus say? He says, you fool. You fool, because tonight your life will be asked of you. This life is not insured by the abundance of goods.
Amen.
Brothers and sisters, the reason for these questions today is in direct relation to what we were talking about last week. Because the problem is that when we think of God, as Bobby was saying, we often think of God in some abstract way. That God is someone who lives in heaven, God is someone who is out there, and sometimes we feel good and we think that this is God. But in essence, God is someone who's beyond us. He's very abstract. He's out there somewhere. And in a similar way, we think of ourselves, and we think of ourselves in an abstract way too. We don't think concretely of what it is that we live for. And this is the reason for these questions. We need to look at what we live for and why, because if we can see that we need God, if we can see that our life without God has no meaning, then God can touch us in a very concrete way. And it's important to know that God can only save specific people. So God can only save me and my sins, or you and your sins. And God can only save you in your situation. God can only make you concretely into a person that is holy, that is just like Jesus Christ, which is the desire of God. If you think of your life in terms of what it is that you're living for, it's important to see that it's an answer that has to come. Maybe you've heard this story. Some of you went to the catechesis might remember this story of the reporter who got onto the bus. He gets onto the bus and he asks